Hello, all. I welcome all of you in the second annual Elets India Transformation Summit. I am Karthik Sharma. I am the managing editor of Elets Technomedia. So, Elets Technomedia, along with its publication eGov magazine, I think most of you know that we are writing about governance sector from last almost 20 years and catering to various segments of governance and always we are trying to promote innovations in governance sector. And this time also in this virtual event, it is one of India's largest virtual event on governance because we have more than 90 leaders in governance sector, uh, senior IS officers, IPS officer, uh, um industry leaders, innovators, experts. So there's a huge number of people sharing their innovations and their ideas uh, across various subjects in governance. And also a huge number of audience is watching us right now as well on the virtual 3D platform of Elets Media, which is called Avatar. And these audience, it's an interactive platform where audience can ask questions, audience can watch in auditoriums, you can watch these discussions. And they are the audience is watching us right now. This panel discussion is live. So this particular panel discussion is on a very important aspect of governance, which is policing. Law and order is the one of the most important aspects of any society or any governance ecosystem. And this session focuses on innovations in smart policing and security. Like the world is getting smart, the world got infected with COVID-19, and we saw the um, various innovations in terms of going digital, going smart. And similarly, the police sector is also getting smarter day by day with some innovators like the people who are right now in this panel discussion, taking initiatives and making it possible. So, in this panel discussion on innovations in smart policing and security, we have eminent speakers and great experts in policing. To start with, Mr. Manoj Abraham, Additional Director General of Police Headquarters, Kerala Police. Welcome, sir. आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है. Many many best wishes and welcome to you. And I also welcome Mr. Amitesh Kumar, Additional Director General, Commissioner of Police, Nagpur City in Maharashtra Police, Commissioner of Police in of Nagpur, one of the most prominent cities of the country, Mr. Amitesh Kumar. Warm welcome to you, sir. And to start with this discussion, Mr. Haider Ali will be joining us in some time. Mr. Haider Ali is Deputy Inspector General for Intelligence in Rajasthan Police. He is joining us in a few moments. But I would like to start this discussion with Mr. Manoj Abraham. Mr. Abraham, you are handling this policing in Kerala from long time, and we have listened to your addresses earlier as well. I have been one of the people who have been following you. So, I would like to know your views on smart policing and the new innovations in security and surveillance. Please share your views and ideas, Mr. Manoj Abraham.
Karthik, thank you very much. Good afternoon to all of you and all the eminent speakers that are participating in this important meeting, the Elets India Transformation Summit. As we all know, we are going through difficult times of the pandemic and the connected lockdowns. But what it has done is actually accelerated the digital transformation of the society. Uh, the things should have which should have taken 5 to 10 years. Actually, we put it at a very accelerated pace, and now the digital technology rules almost every sector of the society. And policing is no different. Now, policing basically, when we are looking at the digital platform, we see a definite change of the crime pattern the policing security requirements all from the physical world to the digital platform also. If you look just at the crime figures of the cyber crimes that are occurring, you'll find a phenomenal increase in the last 2 years, which clearly shows that the whole paradigm of policing needs to shift from the physical world more to the digital world. Now, as you mentioned, we are in a smart world, and the police also should become smart. Every sector needs to become smart. And we need to use these innovations for better policing and security also. Now, few concepts that we need to understand when we come to policing. Policing is basically a service-oriented organization where we are securing the citizens' lives and property. It's not about just introducing gadgets or just some product that has come into the market and just saying that we have introduced technology. No, it's basically infusing those gadgets, the gadgets that are available or the technology that's available, infusing those technology into policing to ensure that policing improves. Basically, what is the objective of the entire smart concept itself is that the police service should be faster, it should be better, and the service delivery should be more efficient. Then only, of course, the infusion of technology will be productive in any sense of the word. That's why that concept is so very important when we look for innovations. It has to be based on whether it's improving our services, it's making our services more efficient, faster. Service delivery is so very crucial. So that's how we need to involve technology into the whole being, and that is what we in Kerala Police and most of the places the police department has been adapting to this technology, using various kinds of the new concepts and solutions that are available for better service delivery. Now, if you take the cameras that are coming up on the highways for traffic, if you take up the drone technology that is being increasingly utilized by all the police forces, and particularly we Kerala Police, we have gone a much step ahead, where we use drone technology not only for beat patrolling, but for disaster management, for crowd management, and various other things. Now we have started a drone forensic lab and research center also, where we are further looking into how drones can be utilized for better policing, because drones can be the eyes and ears of the police, both in the day and the night, and we can save a lot of manpower also. So technology is available. So, and if you look at the various other technologies of artificial intelligence and machine learning that is there, now we know we have a lot of data everywhere on the social media, on the online platforms, even in the police department, because most of our systems, the CCTNS system, the crime mapping system, everything is on the digital platform. And with so many CCTV cameras around the state, around the country, we have a huge tons of data available. And if we use that properly with the artificial intelligence and machine learning, we can actually do a lot of predictive policing, where we can understand where we need to really put our resources in, where the police needs to concentrate with their beats or with their night patrols, or where the crime is happening. The crime mapping can be done, and solutions can be really looked into in a digital fashion, where our resources are utilized in a more productive fashion, which will really help in using those scarce police resources more effectively. And then, of course, there is a lot of way we can integrate our policing services. Now, most of the policing services, the citizen has to come to the police station to avail those services. Actually, this digital technology, like now it's happening everywhere, whether it's work from home or online classes, we can actually provide all these policing services to the homes of the citizens. The citizen need not come to the police station itself. If it's for a petition or for taking a passport verification or for job verification or for any other reason, 90% of the things we can actually sort it through the online medium if he sits at his home and we have an effective online integrated portal available. We can actually give all those services more effectively over the online medium, and that will reduce the allegations of corruption, of bad behavior, of because the police is not interacting directly with the citizen. Similarly, in traffic also, if you make traffic enforcement purely by the device, by the machine doing all the traffic enforcement, and the fines going to the individual through his email or through his SMS, and he giving the fines through the portal and through the payment gateway, then the interaction between the traffic policeman and the individual on the road does not happen. So most of these problems of disputes and arguments on the road and fights between the road, etc., would totally be sorted out. And so the police image also will increase, and it will ensure better service delivery also to citizens also. And then, of course, the concept of evidence-based policing. Most of our policing is based on our assumptions, our imaginary thoughts that this will do good. But when we have so much data and when we use machine learning, etc., we can actually, based on the evidence, plan our policing, where we should do our policing, where we need to concentrate on, what are the crime aspects that we need to really look at. So these aspects are one of the most important things that can be done. So basically, that's my take initially on that. The most important fact is technology is required in policing. We need to innovate, because only if we innovate, we will survive in the present world. So innovation is very crucial, but the moot point is we need to innovate in such a way that it actually improves policing, the security that we give, and it helps in better service delivery. So that is the important fact, that it's not just adopting technology, whatever is available. It's adapting technology and making systems in place so that our service delivery improves and our policing provides better security to the citizens.
Very rightly said, sir. Technology adoption is very important, but to keep the system in place is rather more important, and only then we will be able to leverage technology better in any segment, including the policing. Rightly said, sir. And now I would request the next speaker, Mr. Amitesh Kumar, Additional Director General and Commissioner of Police in Nagpur City in Maharashtra. It's a very to handle the law and order, to handle the policing in such big cities uh, like Nagpur, Mumbai, such big cities of Maharashtra. How challenging this is for you, and how do you think smart policing can help into that? And your views on this topic to start with your initial remarks, Mr. Mitesh Kumar.
Thank you, Karthik. Thank you, sir, Mr. Manoj Abraham, sir. I am 95 batch. I believe you are 94 batch. Sir, I am here in Nagpur SCP for the last around 1 year. Mr. Abraham has already elaborated the importance of technology in policing and why it is necessary for us to be all smart, and how the Indian police and the various other police organizations are adapting technology in the best possible manner. First and foremost, I must tell you that I'll give you a brief introduction about Nagpur. It's a city with around a population of around 29 lakhs, uh, and it is the winter capital of Maharashtra. Historically, Nagpur city is known for high instances of body offences and violent crimes. Uh, One important technology which Maharashtra has used and which has become institutionalized, why I stress on the word institutionalized, is that a lot of times we introduce technology at times in an ad hoc manner, and then the system doesn't run very long. One very important thing which we have been able to establish now is the one state, one e-challan system of traffic enforcement. I think we started this in Mumbai on a pilot basis, and now we have done it in Maharashtra. And as Mr. Manoj Ibrahim had said, the advantages of it has been that the enforcement reach has increased. We are using electronic devices, digital platforms, the CCTVs, the ANPR, at automatic number plate recognition cameras for enforcement. The volume of enforcement has increased, and secondly, more importantly, the conflict between the violator and the policeman, that conflict situations have reduced drastically. And with statistics, I can tell you that the number of instances of conflict as compared to previous years has reduced drastically. So on one hand, the enforcement has increased, thus thereby creating a deterrence for the violators. Secondly, since there are database of the violators for the whole state of Maharashtra, This database is being used very effectively for cancellation of permits, suspension of driving licenses, suspension of permits of the auto rickshaw drivers, etc., etc. And with the reduced conflict situations between the police and the traffic violators, obviously it's a win-win situation for both the stakeholders, and certainly it leads to an improved police image. So this is one of the technologies which have now been being widely used in the whole state of Maharashtra, and I'm sure there is in the days to come this whole system would be integrated into a one country one e-challan, where if someone commits a violation in Kerala and the vehicle comes to Maharashtra, even there he can be traced. There are issues of apart from these traffic violations in the day-to-day policing. What is very important is visible policing on the streets. Street crimes, as I said, in Nagpur, we have high instances of street and body crimes. What has proved in very handy is that we adopted this QR code system of patrolling. This has been introduced elsewhere as well, and it has proved effective. Here also in Nagpur city, we have been using this for around 8 to 9 months, and we have mapped all the vulnerable places, like places vulnerable from the perspective of crime against women, isolated places, uh, areas where there is a high footfall of people in the night hours. For example, there are open grounds, there are playgrounds, which become spots where women feel a little insecure, or places where, for example, ATMs, places like petrol pumps. We have mapped this and installed QR codes, and we ensure that the patrolling mobiles have to go to these places periodically, and it is logged, so we exactly know how many spots are being covered by the patrolling mobiles. This is proved in very the feedback from the general public is very effective. There are people who come and complain that they want police patrolling in this area, and it becomes very easy that we install a QR code and give that to all the patrolling mobiles, the beat marshals, etc., who's patrolling, and it overall creates a sense of confidence. So here again, I would say that technology also, although it's a very small intervention, and I mean, there's nothing. Technology, in fact, is nothing very great. But the point is that since it's all mapped now, geo mapped, as well as how many people are visiting, how many each spot is visited by how many constables in a day. All these gives us an insight into what more steps need to be taken in respect of street policing. So, although a small intervention, but yet very effective. Third is CCTVs, as you all, I mean, there's nothing to elaborate on. CCTVs have proved very effective in cities, and in Nagpur, I must say that CCTV, the Smart City project, has been commissioned. The project has gone live just a year back. With I think there are approximately 4,000 odd cameras in the city, and the kind of effect it has had on both prevention and detection of crime uh, is both in terms of body offences, in property offences. Of course, I have discussed about the traffic violations, but overall, and the security of vital installations, security of vulnerable places, the kind of benefit it has given to the police in terms of reducing its manpower commitment and a more effective way of surveillance in the city. I think it's a very effective measure. Of course, we will in the days to come need to increase on the number of cameras. We are also trying to see if community cameras can be interlinked with our main control and command center, as long as those cameras are of the same specifications, that it can be integrated to our city control and command center. But yes, cameras, both the PTZ, the fixed cameras, the ANPR cameras, all of those have become very effective tool for crime prevention and crime control. We have also got some mobile surveillance vehicles which has a drone and which has around 10 fixed cameras on that vehicle, apart from another 15 odd cameras which can be installed in the locality. So in crowd management, for example, the Ganpati festival is on and we have a huge issue of Ganpati processions and large congregations at the immersion places. These MSVs come in very handy, where we do not have to install CCTV cameras, but mobile surveillance vehicles goes there and temporarily fixes these 15 odd cameras, uses their 10, 15 odd fixed cameras on the vehicles, puts the drone into place and starts surveillance. These feeds from these mobile surveillance cameras gets connected to the city control and command center, and we can, the senior officers also can view it. So that again has proved in very effective in overall crime control, law and order management, traffic enforcement, and things like that. To conclude, I would just say that technology has been very effective, and in an era when Mr. Manoj Ibrahim elaborated on the changing nature of the crime from the traditional crime to the cyber crimes, and here again technological interventions and technological tools, digital tools to prevent and detect these offenses is very important. The use of social media effectively, both in terms of interacting with people, knowing their grievances through Facebook lives or through Instagrams, is very important in this era. I can only say that we in the police are totally aware and sensitive of this issue, and we are trying to adopt and adapt technology in the best possible manner. And certainly, it would help reduce our manpower commitments and help serve the people in a more effective and in a more transparent manner. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mitesh Kumar. And as rightly said by you, that not only the traditional crime, the nature of crime is changing across globally, and these cyber crimes, they need technology intervention to detect and to, fight with these crimes and to solve these investigations. It is very important. And when I talk to you, Mr. Heather Ali Zaidi, audience, I would just like to inform you that Mr. Haider Ali Zaidi, Deputy Inspector General for Intelligence in Rajasthan Police, has joined us. First of all, welcome to you, Mr. Zaidi.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry
So,
I was not able to connect with the link.
no, I got to know that you were on time, but there was some technical glitch, so that is why you could not connect. But we are thankful that you have joined now. Mr. Reddy, I was following you. You were just out of this context that you were a good friend with Mr. Irfan Khan, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
and he was your close friend. And when he passed away, then we got to know a lot of good things about him from you. We read in the newspapers. But Mr. Zedi, you are also quite known for your work in policing in Rajasthan, and the sort of innovations you always promote in the Rajasthan police. I would like to ask you, Mr. Haider Ali Zedi, you are DIG of intelligence.
Yeah.
So, just first of all, share your views about this topic, this significance of smart policing and security, and apart from traditional crimes, how the police is dealing with cyber crimes as well. So, just your initial remarks, first of all, Mr. Red.
Yeah, Mr. Karthik Sharma, I'm very grateful to you. You invited me. Actually, I joined police in 1991 as a deputy SP, and I got my probation in Alwar. Then I was posted in Bharatpur. So I have seen police evolving and the crime evolving and the use of technology gradually creeping into the police. And I worked as chief controller of enforcement in JDA, Jaipur Development Authority in Jaipur. Then I worked as SP Seeker. Then I've been long here as Deputy Commissioner of Police in Traffic, and then as SP Bharatpur. So I've seen various aspects of crime, intervention of crime, and use of technology in traffic. Um, Especially in Bharatpur, I've used in Mewat because Mewat has become another hub of this cyber crime, and it is just like Jamtara. So initially in traffic, uh, we were the first to use e-challans. Then we installed some cameras in jail and mark, and then gradually then we developed a command center. It had a lot of cameras here in Jaipur, and then we have used it as because I think the more you introduce machines, the more you introduce technology, and the lesser we use human, then it is better for the image of the police and for the efficiency also. Because I've seen in we just calculated uh, for a month or so because jail in Jawaharlal Nehru Marg, if you've been the airport road, it has been a hub of traffic accidents, and we had I think 26 in a month and two deaths. But after we installed the cameras, it was reduced to only four accidents. So I've seen the working of the technology in traffic and smart traffic policing, and in crime also because and its evolvement in evolving crime in this COVID times because we have increased our uh, working on internet, we have increased our payments, we have increased all the things on internet. So the more the traffic is going on net, the more crime, the more criminal is aware, and more criminal is going towards this cyber crime instead of physical crime. So I think the future lies in evolving technologies, use of robotics, use of CCTV cameras, even use of face recognition, artificial intelligence in policing. And this is the only way out. We can make the society secure.
Right, rightly said, Mr. Zedi, about how to deal with these cyber crimes. And I think, yes, Mewat region is quite unpopular nowadays for these cyber crimes, like Jamtara, which is already a name across the country. Uh, uh, I would like to ask you, Mr. Manoj Abram, when we talk about cyber crime, I think I because I follow you, so I know that Kerala Police organizes hackathons like Hack KP 2020, where you gather all the ethical hackers for all that. So, what sort of initiatives a state police has to take to deal with such cyber crimes?
Yeah, basically, when we are talking of digital technology, one of the important aspects of smart cities is safe cities also. You need to have your digital resources safe. So what we have been doing in Kerala is basically involving a lot of public-private participation in all our cyber security concepts. We have an important, you must be knowing about the Cyber Dome, which is actually a public-private partnership initiative to ensure that cybersecurity is maintained and we prevent cybercrime. That's basically we use the community help or the companies, the IT technology companies that are available, and everybody that is there as a stakeholder. And we use them to enhance the principles of cybersecurity, ensuring cybersecurity, preventing cybercrime as such. And one of the two major programs that we do internationally is a conference called Cocoon Conference, the Cocoon Cyber Security Conference, where we internationally call all the delegates and deliberate on the various aspects of cybersecurity. That is held annually. We have been doing it for the past 14 years, and last 2 years we have been doing it online, where we get all the know-how, the latest problems, what is happening in the world. We have the best of the speakers coming. It's a renowned conference, so we get all those ideas from there. And Cyberdome has been a corollary to the Cocoon conference. The second, as you mentioned, we conduct the Hackpy, which is a hackathon. It's not the traditional hackathon kind of thing. We know the traditional hackathon is a competition where teams come and they build something and they give it to the police. But what we do differently is we don't do a competition where we give them some basic subject ideas. We give them one single problem. Now, this time we just concluded our Hackpy, And we had the theme of demystifying the darknet. The darknet is, of course, as you all know, it's the underworld of crime, and it's gaining ground even in India also. So we understood that there should be some solution, digital solution to identify the perpetrators, crawl into the system. We didn't have any crawlers. So we said this time during the hackathon, we need to develop a technology, a solution to demystify the darknet or to crawl into the darknet and get all those information. And the hackathon, many people come together from around the globe. We had around 1,000 individuals coming, ethical hackers, IT professionals coming in. And together they built us a very good solution. Actually, if I go to the international market, it would cost me around 10 to 20 crores per year to get a solution like that. And during the hackathon, they made it free of cost. Many technology enthusiasts coming together. And we have got the solution free of cost now. So you can actually get that solution. So using the community, using the technical know-how that is there, and using that for developing your technological resources, developing new resources, etc., is so very crucial because what we need to understand in technology or in the digital world, technology keeps on changing and it becomes more complicated, it becomes more advanced, and it's very difficult for a trained police officer to keep abreast with the changing technology because the pace is so much. It's not like the physical world where you train some police officer for, say, investigating a murder case, and then he can do it his entire career. Because the cybercrime, it's the whole nature of cybercrime keeps on changing. It gets more technical, it gets more complicated, and so constant training is required. And of course, the assistance of all these technocrats, because unless you have these technical know-how with you, you won't know the solution. So when you have, say, 1,000, 3,000 odd people working for you around the globe with all the technical know-how, you are really equipped to deal with the challenges of the future. So in the cybersecurity arena, it's very important that we actually build all the stakeholders together, the IT industry together, the professionals together, and they work hand in hand with the police to sort out all these issues. Then only we'll be successful. So that's one of the major initiatives that we do in cybersecurity.
Right, sir. I think Kerala Police is doing something really great and to deal with these cyber crimes. I would like to ask you a question, Mr. Amitesh Kumar. You being a commissioner of police of Nagpur, as you also said that. Uh, so, can you just mute yourself, sir, just for a while when I ask questions? Yeah. So when, uh, we- as you said that the cameras, the surveillance cameras, they are part of the smart city mission of this because Nagpur is one of the smart cities in India. So smart city scheme also focuses on security and surveillance. So how do you think being a smart city? What sort of difference does it make to a commissioner of police to ensure security and surveillance and to implement these smart policing initiatives? Uh, just your thoughts on that, Mr. Amidesh.
Yes, I already tried to elaborate how the CCTVs have been very, very effective in both prevention and detection of crime, as well as maintenance of law and order, and in traffic enforcement through the 4,000 odd cameras which have been installed in the city. The City Control and Command Center, which is also a part of the Smart City project, provides for viewing centers at not only one center but the police commissioner office, the other senior officers, and also at the police stations who can view the CCTV cameras of their jurisdiction and intervene appropriately for measures for prevention of crime or maintenance of law and order, etc. Apart from that, there are certain other components of the smart city project, like the smart parking, where the technology is used in maintenance of certain parking protocols at certain locations. We have the area traffic control, like a green corridor, which can be set up through these cameras for passage of ambulances or for VVIP movements in case it is required. There are other components which directly doesn't relate to the police, like their garbage management or things like that. But the CCTV cameras and these visibility of technology is a very important component of the smart city project, and it has proved very handy. But yes, we need to increase the reach of these cameras, increasing the numbers of camera through the government, I mean the smart city project, or trying to have the community cameras integrated to the city control and command center, so that the reach actually increases to some reasonable levels. For example, if we compare some of the compare Shanghai, for example, it has 80,000 CCTV cameras in one city, as compared to some other cities. I mean, no city in India would be comparable to this density of cameras. We would need to, in the days to come, increase the reach of the CCTV cameras and a more professional and a more technologically managed way of viewing these cameras through artificial intelligence. Thank you.
Right, Mr. Nitish Kumar. I think on similar lines, I would like to ask you, Mr. Heather Ali Zaidi. Uh, Rajasthan is a bigger, quite a area-wise the biggest state in the country, and I think big states have their own law and order problems, and traditional crimes are still higher in the states like Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, whether in terms of killings, rapes, and all that. The numbers are very high. So, how do you think, apart from the cyber crimes, how technology can help in maintaining these law and order situation as well, so that the crime rate can come down? How smart policing can help in that, Mr. Devi?
Mr. Karthik Sharma, you're very right. I think every state is having different issues, and every state, even every district is different. Its problems, solutions, resources, and other things. And we have to be very area specific, and because it is a glut of technology, glut of information now. And the most important thing which I foresee is we are not upgrading our staff. As Manoj sir was just telling us that after every six months, that the pattern of crime is changing. So we have to be aware of what are the changes, and we have to be a dedicated team of the experts who can foresee the changing patterns of the crime. Beside it, we can use this technology, smart policing in traffic and other things on a wide scale. But and we can also withdraw the forces from we are rather underutilizing in this traffic management now in crime detection and in upgrading the our staff into this kind of technologies. So I think we can just reshuffle the resources, and in crime, as you were rightly saying, because we are using FSL in every crime which is more than 7 years of imprisonment, and it is compulsory to use the FSL mobile unit. So even in Jaipur, I've seen, and in other districts also, recently there was a lot of crime, but they are easily solved because you also know that every criminal leaves so many digital marks wherever it goes. So if our technology is upgraded and the staff is upgraded, we are able to detect the crime in a very short span of time. We can also collect a lot of evidence through our digital technology. We can collect a lot of things through GPRS monitoring. We can develop. We can collect a lot of evidence through CDR analysis. We can collect a lot of evidence through CCTV cameras. So we can use the newer technologies in collection of evidence, and which is very helpful in putting a person behind the bars, and even uh, in just putting in the jail.
Right, right, Mr. Zadi. Mr. Manoj Abram, I would like to ask you that because the theme of this event is governance in the COVID-19 era, and we can see very significant role of police department during this COVID-19 uh, era, last 1.5 years. Great role being played by the police department. What sort of transformation do you see in police department and the whole overall scenario of police department post this COVID-19 era, Mr. Abraham?
Karthik, I just like to intervene. I have some commitments and I am leaving. Thank you very much and sorry for exiting early. Thank you, Mr. Haider, and thank you, Ibrahim sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kumar, for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Karthik,
Uh,
what basically the COVID-19 pandemic has done is it has basically changed the whole paradigm of how policing is done, in the sense that policing is basically a one-to-one activity where on a day-to-day basis you're going and enforcing traffic, you're going and arresting a person, physically going and checking a place. So it was all one-to-one. And what this pandemic has done with all these health protocols, social distancing, and all other things, it has changed the whole way how we function. We have new SOPs coming in. And as I mentioned earlier, also a lot of technology coming in where all our services also have become online. Even this basic conference, which has gone online, is a proof to the fact that whole living style has changed. In the police also, we have all the online conferences now. The meetings are all online. The petitioners we attend to online. The courts have become online. The police officer does not has to go. And as I mentioned, the technology also we are using in such a way that all our services also we are delivering in the online fashion. Whether you require a passport verification certificate, nobody has to come to the police. He has to go to the our application or to the mobile app, and he can apply, and the person will come and directly he will give the certificate online. If you require a job verification, you require any other service, it's all going online. And COVID, particularly, what we did is basically all the police forces, we went into areas that were traditionally not policing. Basically, this enforcing this lockdown or quarantine checking, it should generally fall into the category of the health department. The police, through various apps and through various digital solutions, we actually ensured that people who are on quarantine after being positive, they stay inside their houses, they don't go out. And if they go out, the digital solution comes in where the alert comes to the police and they enforce that. And into various non-traditional areas, we actually in Kerala we developed a telemedicine app where we connected the people, the patients to the doctors because the people couldn't travel, and so we got in touch with the Indian Medical Association, and we made the essential patients connect to the doctors where they could. Through a tele video call, they could actually show their whatever diseases they have to the doctors available. Similarly, we had a shopping app also where we connected the small traders. Of course, the big traders, the big shopping apps are there, but otherwise, the small traders, the local traders also, to the local customers, we connected through a police shopping app. So these are non-traditional things which doesn't come purely in the policing activity, but we are using the digital resources so that the services are rendered to the citizens. They are better off than they were, and their needs are met because that police actually the final role of the police is to ensure the safety and security of the citizens. It's both the mental and physical health being. So that is what the policing it has evolved over the past 2 years during the COVID pandemic. We have devised new digital technologies, even in case of arrests and maintenance of records, going more digital, putting up the physical barriers away. Even in duty management, day-to-day management of the police station, also it is not like traditional times where everybody comes to the police station. The duty detailing itself is done online, so that the particular policeman doesn't come to the police station. He goes directly to his duty place, reports over the app, and then after that he returns back to his house without even coming to the police station. So a lot of changes have happened. The new SOPs have come into play, and in many ways it's a good thing because it has made the services also very effective. The monitoring has become very very simple. And the data management has ensured that we have a proper check on what the individual is doing. Proper records are available. So that is one great advantage of using technology in day-to-day policing.
Right, right, Mr. Manoj. Mr. Heather, I would like to know your experiences of policing in COVID-19 duration. Uh,
Uh, Karthik, during COVID-19, I was posted as in Bharatpur. So we have used these drone cameras uh, in the lockdown period. We have used it and it is very effective. Then we have used, as Vinod sir was telling, we have used this GPRS techniques apps in quarantine, enforcing the quarantine and contact tracing, and we have used in delivering of the services, delivering of the goods. Now, as you know, that even courts are functioning through this apps and WhatsApp, and even you are summoning people through WhatsApp, sending the summons and even warrants through the apps, WhatsApp, and in during the COVID time itself, the use of video conferencing and even this evidence through video conference has increased. Uh, the last month also we have there is a physical this physical evidence system has started in Wi-Fi. Otherwise, we were all giving evidence through video conferencing. So now it has become we have to take it as not as exception, but it has become now the uses of digital technology in policing in day-to-day activities. It has become a norm now. So what I was trying to assert is that now we have the greater need is to upgrade our people into this kind of these kind of technologies, the use of these technologies. Because as I was saying earlier, that it is upgrading day by day, and in every 3 months, a new app is coming, a new type of crime is emerging, and so we have to be faster than the criminals, we have to be faster than the other parts of the uh, world to be in pace with the this service delivery system. So it is need of the hour, I'm in intelligence. So we are recruiting, we are trying to recruit the officers who are tech savvy, who know how to operate the computers, who know how to operate the other gadgets. Because otherwise, uh, if you look at uh, now 5 years down, you will find very few people who are conversant in computer and technology. So it is going from a very fast pace, and we have to be upgraded in the technology as we have to develop SOPs, and a lot of budget is required.
right, right. So I think here it's time to close this session, and I would like to close this session by the closing remarks from both of you. Mr. Manoj Ibrahim, I would like to request you to deliver the closing remarks from your end, please.
Thank you, Karthik. Once again, thank you for the opportunity for such an important topic that you're discussing on innovations, which is the crucial part, not only in policing every activity of government and the private sector also. And just to close on the principle that it is when looking for smart solutions, we are looking for smart solutions. We are trying to make everything smart, including policing, the government, the digital solutions that are coming in. The important aspect that we should not forget is the security aspect also, the safety aspect also. Because when we are going digital, what is happening is we are actually opening up our borders. It's a world without borders when we come to the digital world. Earlier in the physical world, somebody to harm us, he has to come to a jurisdiction to do something. But in the digital world, you can sit anywhere and have your system. And so the criminal, the world, when we come into the digital framework, when we open up everything on the online platform, the security aspects should not be compromised. It's a very important aspect that we take a serious look at cyber security, security of our online systems, because we always talk, police always talks of security in the physical terms, but cyber security, digital security also is very important. And in the race for making ourselves smart, we should not ignore the aspect that security is so very crucial, because Now attacks are very sophisticated. It is operated by many nation countries now. Professional hackers are available, or professional IT enthusiasts are available who are ready to do everything for money. And so many encrypted tools are available. That's almost impossible to detect from which area he's operating. So the cyber security needs to be emphasized on when we are going using technology. The security aspect, the safety aspect also needs to be really hammered into. We need to really put in our time, our efforts, and finances to ensure that our resources that are going online or the technology that we are using is actually safe, because that is also so very important in the present times. So thank you once again for the opportunity, and it's a very relevant conference, and I'm really impressed by attending the same. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Brahm. Mr. Zaidi, your closing remarks, please.
Uh, Actually, this is as Manoj was telling, we have had very useful discussion, and it has become a part of life. This digitalization, and we have to absorb it. We have to educate from the schooling, right? And as we were teaching new kind of methods. So now it is the only method we have to teach our policemen. And now we were searching for few literate constables who are computer literate. Now we have to ensure that 100% of our policemen are tech savvy and they are computer savvy, and they know the latest technologies which can harm us, the technologies which can include. And as Manoj sir was telling that any enemy, there is no need to coming to Jaipur to harm us, and we can do it from Congo, we can do it from Afghanistan, we can do it from any place. So now we have to be more cautious, and the policing has to be as we are having police personnel on Earth, so we have to be in the space. The same kind of policing, the same level of policing, even better policing in the space. So it is need of the hour, and I think it is very important that you have conducted this type of symposium, because it is very relevant and it is very useful. And I'll try to percolate in my staff and also in my institution, so that that kind of things emerge and this kind of meeting of minds come, because through this meeting of minds and a lot of interactions we can come to certain solutions. Thanks a lot.
Right, sir. And thank you so much. And I would like to present the speaker certificates as a token of appreciation, a small gesture from our side. To Mr. Manoj Abraham, Additional Director General of Police, Kerala Police. Thank you so much, Mr. Abraham, for sparing time for us. Mr. Mitesh Kumar, he spoke really well. Commissioner of Police in Nagpur, Maharashtra. Thank you so much. And to Mr. Haider Ali Zaidi, DIG Intelligence of Rajasthan Police. Thank you so much. And here we close this session. We'll keep inviting you for our other brainstorming session, other events. Please keep supporting us. Please accepting our invites. Thank you so much, audience. We will be catching up with you with the next session at 4 o'clock. Please stay with us. And meanwhile, we close this session. Thank you, Mr. Manoj Abram. Thank you, Mr. Haider Ali Zaidi.